My name is Emily Turner, and if there's one thing I've learned in the last few years, it's that pride and arrogance can destroy everything you hold dear. I used to think I was better than my husband, that I deserved more, that somehow he wasn't man enough for me. I mocked him, belittled him, and laughed at his struggles instead of standing by his side. And today, I'm living with the consequences of those cruel choices. This is my story of love, pride, regret, and the life I lost because of my own mistakes. Chapter 1. The Early Days. I met Daniel Turner in college in Chicago. He wasn't the loudest, richest, or most confident guy in the room, but he had a quiet charm. He was kind, funny in a subtle way, and patient with me even when I was moody. We dated for 2 years, and when he proposed after graduation, I said yes without hesitation. Our wedding wasn't grand. It was simple and beautiful. We promised each other forever, believing love would carry us through anything. In those first few years, we lived in a small apartment while Daniel worked at an accounting firm, and I pursued a career in marketing. We didn't have much, but we had each other. But as time went on, I started noticing things that I now realize were my own insecurities disguised as criticism. Daniel wasn't ambitious in the way I thought a husband should be. He wasn't chasing promotions or trying to impress people. He was content with his stable job, while I dreamed of a bigger house, luxury vacations, and a social life filled with prestige. Chapter 2. The cracks begin. The first real argument happened when I got a promotion at my firm. I was so proud of myself, but when I came home to share the news, Daniel congratulated me and hugged me, but he didn't seem impressed. I wanted him to celebrate with me the way I imagined. Champagne, excitement, maybe even a spontaneous trip. Instead, he calmly said, "I'm proud of you. You worked hard for this. It should have been enough." But in my pride, I felt it wasn't. That night, I told him, "Sometimes I wish you were more of a man, you know? More ambitious, more exciting." Daniel went quiet. He didn't yell or argue. He just looked at me with hurt in his eyes. That silence was worse than any fight, but instead of apologizing, I doubled down. I laughed it off, pretending I was joking, but it wasn't a joke to him. Chapter 3. The wounds deepen. Over the next few years, my criticism became constant. Whenever he avoided confrontation, I mocked him for being too soft. When he preferred quiet weekends at home instead of fancy dinners or parties, I teased him for being boring. I told myself it was harmless, but deep down, I was chipping away at his spirit. My friends didn't help either. Some of them, successful and glamorous, would ask why I settled for someone like Daniel. Instead of defending him, I sometimes joined in the jokes. I can't believe how cruel I was. Daniel, on the other hand, never raised his voice. He supported me through long work nights, cooked dinner when I was exhausted, and always asked about my day. But I was blind to his quiet strength, mistaking gentleness for weakness. Chapter 4. The Breaking Point. It all came crashing down one evening after a dinner with my coworkers. One of my colleagues made a snide comment about Daniel being too quiet and asked if I ever wished I had married someone more outgoing. Instead of standing up for him, I laughed along. When we got home, Daniel sat me down. His voice was steady, but his hands trembled slightly. "Emily," he said, "I've spent years trying to make you happy, but I realize nothing I do will ever be enough for you. You don't respect me. You don't see me. And I can't keep living like this." My heart dropped. "What are you saying?" I asked. "I'm saying I'm leaving," he replied. I thought he was bluffing. Daniel, the man who never raised his voice, was suddenly resolute. He packed a bag that night and walked out the door. Chapter 5. The Aftermath. At first, I thought he would come back. I told myself he just needed space. But days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The divorce papers came quietly, without drama. He didn't fight for money or property. He just wanted out. I signed them, still in disbelief. Then, through mutual friends, I began hearing about his new life. Daniel had joined a hiking club, something he'd always wanted to do but I had discouraged. He traveled to Colorado, Montana, and even abroad. He took photography classes, started volunteering at a local shelter, and eventually got promoted at work after all, something I never thought he cared about. Most painful of all, he was smiling in every picture I saw. A genuine peaceful smile I hadn't seen in years. Ugh. Chapter 6. The Regret. Meanwhile, my life wasn't the dream I thought it would be. I dated men who seemed exciting, powerful, or ambitious, but none of them had Daniel's patience or kindness. None of them cared about my heart the way he did. I began to realize that Daniel had been man enough all along. He was man enough to stay calm when I was cruel, man enough to love me through my flaws, and man enough to walk away when he realized I would never appreciate him. The laughter I once used to mock him now echoed in my head like a cruel reminder of what I had lost. Ugh. Chapter 7. Living with the Consequences. It has been 3 years since Daniel left. I still live in Chicago, still working in marketing, still chasing dreams that feel emptier now. I sometimes see him from afar, once at a park, once at a bookstore. He looks happy, healthier than ever. I wanted to approach him to apologize, but I stopped myself. He deserves peace, not old wounds reopening. So I live with my regret. I share my story not because I expect sympathy, but because I hope someone else learns from my mistakes. If you love someone, respect them. Celebrate them. Don't tear them down just because they don't fit into your narrow definition of strength. Because one day, you might laugh at the person who loves you most, only to find they've built a better life without you.